Hey guys, let's talk about compatibilities between different signs. So one of the things you have to always look at when you look at compatibility are not only looking at the sun signs, but you have to look at the sun signs, rising sign, moon sign. You also have to look at the Mars and the Venus signs. So one of the rules when you look at compatibility between two signs is that they have to be same sign or opposite signs, meaning that you can have two same sun signs and or sun sign might be the same one as a Venus, can be the same one as a moon sign. And one of the most important rules is that the most important one is that between sun and moon, if you have the opposite sign and someone with a sun sign, let's say Gemini, and the other person is opposite sign, Sagittarius, has a moon sign in Sagittarius, so it's the strongest bond and chemistry between those two. However, you have to look at the other signs, like your rising sign, moon sign, Venus. But the most important thing is to always look at the same signs and opposite signs, and the most important is like between sun and moon of two people. Those are the strongest bond that you can find in terms to compatibility. And I'm forgetting also to say that why you look at Mars is because Mars gives you that compatibility when it comes to the sexuality. And Venus, although that is referred to love, it also helps you to realize how comfortable you feel with that person. And in terms of sun sign, the rising sign, and well, the moon sign is always about the emotions, and the sun sign always have to be with, you know, the career. So if you have someone, like I just said, they have opposite signs. If someone has Gemini and sun sign, and the other person is like Sagittarius moon sign, it's a strong and powerful attraction between those two, because the person who has the moon sign in Sagittarius will support and give that emotional support to the person who has a sun sign in Gemini, and can be the opposites, same thing. So that's the strongest bond between opposite signs, between sun and moon sign. And that's it. Sun, moon sign, and rising sign has to be, especially the sun sign and the rising sign, has much to do with personality, how you guys can bond in terms of personality, and how can you get along in terms of personality. Moon sign, emotions. Venus, how comfortable you feel with the other person, how that other person makes you feel, you know, comfortable. And then the Mars is actually the, you know, like I mentioned before, it has to be with the sexuality and that sexual chemistry between both of you. Hey guys, welcome, and we are going to talk about, that was crazy, did I scare you?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
I don't scare easily.
Yeah, you're Aries. So anyway, so we're going to talk about compatibility between Gemini and Aries. And okay, so let's start by talking about Aries.
Good.
Obviously.
Because we're number
Exactly, that's Aries vibe. And Aries is ruled by what planet?
Mars.
Yes. So let us know how Aries are. I know
How Aries are?
Yeah.
In like one word?
Like
2 words.
Okay, 2 words.
The best.
No, Gemini are the best.
No, it's Aries.
No.
No. So Aries.
Geminis are the best.
We'll let her think that. So yeah, no, Aries. What can I say? We're the first ones in the zodiac.
It's true. That's why they always want to be the first one, and they want to win all the time.
They talk about Aries being fire signs, and I think that's so true, being very fiery, being very passionate. I think that a lot of times the Aries passion, well, I think that like the competitive, right, goes into that compassion, goes into that heat.
Yeah.
So it's not that you're competitive and you want to win. It's about you're so into it.
Yeah.
That winning is like how you kind of prove that passion.
Yeah.
Which also makes it really hard for relationships.
Yeah, it does. That's one of the things that we have to talk.
Well, because Aries are
Gemini and Aries. Well, there's a difference between being a friend and being in a relationship.
Yeah.
And we have to talk about the good things and bad things about, you know, being together. She's like my little sister, by the way. So we know each other for a while, and we both are swimmers.
18 years.
Yo, swimmers stick together
years.
forever.
18 years. But do you want to talk about friendships, relationships?
Okay, let's talk a little bit about Gemini.
Oh, but I want to talk more about Aries.
Oh no, stop it. So we're going to talk about Gemini. Geminis, we are very flirty.
Aries are too.
Yeah, kind of. But remember, I teach you a lot of things, so.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
And we are so extroverted. We the light of the party. We are super dynamic also. So that's one of the things that I'm going to touch base about Aries and Gemini together. It's one of those things about being dynamic together and very energetic. And we are so smart as a Geminis. You guys are smart too, okay? But we are very smart because we are very mercurial, and we are into intellectual conversations. All about intellectual conversations, and we like to move around here and there. So if we talk about the positive things about a relationship between Aries and Gemini, okay, they can keep up with us.
Keep up?
Yeah.
We're leading.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
We're leading all this.
And that's one of the things that, you see, that's what, I made a list so I don't forget, and exactly what is it, she's a leader. Yes, that's the thing.
And none of the stuff that I'm saying is pre-discussed.
No. She's definitely a leader, yeah. So every single Aries wants to be always the leader, the first of the zodiac already. So
yeah, pretty much.
But yeah, the good thing is about Gemini and Aries together is like Gemini is air, so you know how air blows air to the fire. What happened?
It ignites it. Whoa. It gets bigger.
So that's a good thing. So both can, help each other, and the fact like, well, actually Gemini just fired them up. Yeah. But the only thing that I would say that might be a bit difficult is that it could be sometimes could be a little unstable in the relationship. If we talk about a love relationship, it could be a little bit unstable. I think Aries gets more into a relationship than what Gemini does. Geminis are very cold in a bit, and you guys are very passionate. Very passionate. So that's the difference. Geminis, we like a little bit more cold, and you guys get very passionate, and I have to say, in Aries sometimes can get a bit that feeling of jealousy too, because Aries can get not a control freak, but can try to be controlling because that Mars energy, and Gemini is just always gonna kind of like try to run away a little bit, because we like to feel free, and we don't want to be tied up. And so the difficult thing with Gemini is that we difficult to get committed to. Well, you being with I have never been in a relationship with Aries.
I'm gonna say this.
All my friends are Aries.
I'm gonna say this about Geminis though.
Go ahead.
When most people are in a relationship with one person, being with a Gemini, whether it's a friendship or a romantic relationship, you basically have to win over two different people. So it's like you call someone up, you text them, and you're like, oh my God, which one am I going to get today? Which one of the twins is it going to be? Is it going to be the super like extroverted one? Or is it going to be like the moody, crazy one? Or like, so most times, again, like you're like, oh, I'm going out with this person, they're great. And it is what it is. But with Gemini, you're like, whoa. I didn't know there was someone else in the relationship. This is a throuple.
We mutable, so that's the thing. We mutable. Geminis are mutable. You guys are cardinals, so it's kind of like. But what I'm saying is like it's that's what a little bit can be a little bit unstable, I guess, a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Yes, a little bit. You being with a Gemini, so tell us.
So I think
in a relationship,
last serious relationship was with a full-on Gemini.
It was really serious.
Yes.
Okay.
Serious. And I think the one before that was a Gemini Cancer cusp.
Ooh.
So he was right on the cusp. And then I think like my first love may have been a Gemini. I forgot his birthday. I don't know if it was like May or June, but it was one of those.
How was it?
I love Geminis. And I don't know if it's because my dad is a Gemini. So as weird as that sounds, I kind of like, I get them. I understand them. And then I also think me as a person and like being an Aries and like wanting the best. And you're like, I want the best person out there. I want the most amazing person. I want someone who's going to like walk into the room and command it. No, but I want someone who's like going to stand back and like let me take center stage. And that's like when like the two crazy twins work. Where I'm like, oh, good. Like, you're going to be the one who's like, you know, being the life of the party and entertaining everyone because, like, I don't feel like going out. Or you're going to be the one who just stands there and holds my purse, which is just as important to have someone to cheer you on. I think that I love the Gemini mind. For me, just as a person, I think whether Aries or not, I like to consider myself an intellectual. So,
well, we have to talk about a little bit also the other stuff that we need to include when we work in the compatibility between two people.
Yeah.
Because that part of you, it's you an ascendant. Let me see.
I think I have an ascendant Virgo.
Yes, you are. And because you are earthy, in that side, Earth, and Virgo is Mercury ruler, you know?
Yeah.
So that's why you gonna get along with a Gemini, and you like that part because you have that intellect. So you can be a little bit picky in front of when people sees you because this is the ascendant. So that's why I like to mention this in all the videos. You have to look at, well, at the beginning of this video, you probably, heard how you're gonna calculate that or mix match between your sun sign, moon sign, rising sign, Venus, and Mars. So they always have to be the same sign or opposites.
Yeah.
Okay, so in this case, I look at your chart.
Mm.
So she's a sun Aries, and she can match with a Libra, sun Libra. You're an ascendant Virgo, and you can pretty much be with another Virgo or with someone who's a Pisces.
Okay.
You can be with a Leo because your moon is Aquarius. Your moon is in Aquarius. Yep. So you can pretty much get along with someone who can be a moon Leo.
Mm-hmm.
It's the opposite. Or moon Aquarius as well. And I'm an ascendant Leo, so also we can get along
as friends.
Yes, friends. Yes. Venus, your Venus is in Taurus. No wonder you're so classy and you like all the commodity in the world, and you feel comfortable, and you want the beauty, and you want your house probably to be so beautiful and have to look great. Okay, but the organization, I don't know, but that is.
But look at all the beautiful dresses in my room.
It's exactly.
But look at all the gorgeous
beauty.
Dresses.
Because your Venus is in Taurus. So because your Venus is in Taurus, you're not gonna believe this, but you're gonna be good with a Scorpio, with a Venus Scorpio. Even you might feel a little bit attractive with a sun sign Scorpio also.
Interesting.
Yeah, and Mars, your Mars is in Cancer. My Venus is in Cancer. We have a match. Yay! I'm Mars Leo. Your Mars is in Cancer.
What does that mean, Sally?
Well, Mars is the part of the sexuality of the person. So, that's why I like to talk about this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 signs that are the most important ones. You really need to check all that and mix and match. So that's why you get along with Gemini. It's pretty good because you have Earth on you, and Virgo specifically, it's has Mercury as a ruler, and it's a ruler of Gemini. Then let's see, between us, that's why we get along. Now you have Mars in Cancer. I have Venus in Cancer. We have 2 equal signs, you and your Mars, and mine and my Venus. So kind of like how Venus is how it makes you feel comfortable, okay? And Mars is always that attraction and that chemistry, like I can't say that.
Making me blush. I wish I would have put on something prettier.
So anyway, so that's the thing. Okay, so you love Geminis, I would say, because of that. But I being with the Aries, I was kind of like dated an Aries 2 times, and I think it's different between a Gemini, female Gemini, and an Aries man than an Aries woman and a Gemini man. The only thing, well, like I said, you has your ascendant Virgo, so that helps you a lot to be more
level-headed,
more grounded,
not crazy,
and not crazy, because Aries can get a little bit, the Mars can get you a little bit controlling a bit.
I will say this though, in my relationships with the Geminis, they've driven me crazy with lack of communication and not, and like the disappearance, like the crazy, and maybe that's modern dating. Or maybe that's like the Aries in me being like,
but because I said,
oh, we're together and this and that, and like, what do you mean you don't like me? Like, no, we just need to like we need to get to the end of our relationship. We need to figure it out. Like, don't waste my time. Like, very like take charge kind of.
But that's the thing.
Kind of CEO.
But you see, you don't see it. But for me, the thing with Aries, female Aries, that gets a bit bossy and demanding a little bit, although you don't think that way, that you are.
Mm-hmm.
But Geminis are such a free spirit that, as you said, is lack of communication. We love to communicate, but the thing is that we are such a free spirit that lack, it's gonna happen. We Geminis, we like that.
Yeah.
We not gonna be texting you all the time. We are going to disappear because we want to have our own life. And the thing with Aries, females Aries, sometimes it can get a little bit like that. Like, I want this, I want that, I want to be the first one, I need the attention, because Aries can be like that a little bit.
But Aries are also supposed to be extremely independent people.
Yes.
Independent signs.
But in love, it's a little bit different. They do want the attention though. Not like super attention, but you do want the attention because it's that competitive energy of like, I want to be the first one too. And relationship kind of changed that context, like too. I want the attention because I want to be almost the first of the list. You know what I mean? But the problem is, like, yes, it's true. Geminis can be pretty, how do you call that in English? Flaky?
Yes.
Flaky.
Yeah.
We are.
So going back to all these different signs, right?
And that's an issue. If you're going to look at long term between Aries and Gemini, it might not work.
Well, so here's my question, right? Going back to the signs. If your sun sign, right, is Aries, like, because that's what I am. I'm a sun sign Aries. And someone's sun sign is Gemini, that just on a sun sign level, it pretty much means like you're not going to be compatible.
I think it's just going to be unstable a bit.
Okay.
Unstable. It's going to be unstable. You might like each other, but the thing is like that energy that what we bring to you guys and makes you bigger, like you fire up,
right?
That's gonna work, and you guys gonna feel that more passion. But at the same time, it might goes against us because we get a little cold and then kind of get flaky, and we flirty, and you might not like that flirtiness of Geminis also because you're like, wait, what? You don't understand it. But 2 Geminis, it might work better.
So, but
we understand it. We're not trying to make people fall in love. It's just naturalness. We don't.
But what I want to make clear though that I'm understanding is that right from that sun sign thought process, like Geminis, Aries, maybe not the best together, but it's really
those good together, but not in the long term.
Not in the long term, but it's really those other 4 signs and how those other 4 signs work with your partner's other 4 signs that's really going to determine if it's a good match.
Yeah.
So
they have to be same signs or opposites.
Okay. So
and Gemini and Aries, they're not opposites and not the same signs.
So now if I were to take my, most recent ex who was a Gemini, and we looked at his, sun,
his birth chart,
right, his birth chart.
Well, it's almost the same.
It is actually almost the same. But it
just happened to me with the Sagittarius too.
Oh. It's the Aries video. Stop talking about other signs. What's this?
That's so Gemini.
Go watch the Sagittarius. Go watch the Sagittarius video. Oh. But it's really good. It's looking at the other 4 signs that could be like, okay, you're, Gemini, Aries, you're good for each other in the short term. But it's really all these other signs, compatibility, that make it to work in the long term.
Yes. Plus, there's all the aspects. But that's going deeper. So right now, I'm just trying to bring on the table just the really basic ones so you can mix match.
Okay.
And it's just simple, and you can figure things out from there.
So if I find
because you have to know major aspects and how Saturn is placed, but I'm not gonna get into that.
So if I find what are my goal? What's the goal? So if I find myself another Gemini, Gemmies, if you're out there, I like really expensive dinners.
Venus and Taurus. This is why she's Venus and Taurus.
Okay, wait. So,
that's not Aries. That's Venus and Taurus.
If I find myself a Gemini, right, a Gemini partner,
you need another Venus and Taurus, or Sun sign Taurus if you really like that.
So, but if he's a Gemini, I have to. What's going to be good for me if he's a Gemini, right? Mm-hmm. Compatibility wise, is for him to be another Venus in Taurus, because my Venus is in Taurus.
Yes. But it could also be Scorpio, because Scorpios, they're very sensitive and they will probably more.
So now the reverse, anyone who wants an Aries, it's really just matching with the person's Venus.
But you can look at the moon signs too, because the moon signs are very important when it comes to the emotional. Venus is how it makes you feel comfortable in a way. You like the luxury and the feeling comfortable and in love, yes. But moon is the emotion part, and emotions controls your mind too.
So are the top 3 sign compatibilities, or the top 3 things to look at? Because I know that you're an expert in this, but I have so many other things running through my mind that I can meet someone and try to dig up this information, do a little Facebook stalking if need be, mylife.com, to try to find this information out.
Yeah.
So it might be hard to find all 12 signs, but if you could figure out what is it, you want to make sure you know their sun, their moon, and their Venus.
Sun, moon, Venus, ascendant, and Mars. Mars is important.
So you do want all 5 signs.
Yeah, all 5 signs. I think will be pretty good to look at those signs. You don't need to know the time of birth of the person, actually, because the planets are going to be in the signs. So you just need to know the signs in the planets, not the houses, to just do this quick.
Quick and dirty.
Yeah. And just information, if you don't know your ascendant, all of the signs, you don't know them, in the description of this video I'm gonna leave a link, the astro.com, I keep saying it in Spanish, astro.com, where you can enter your information and get your birth chart. It's free, and I'm not associated to it, but you can do that, and then you can figure from there if you're compatible with a Gemini or an Aries or a Sagittarius. But Geminis, we are the best. You see, she loves Geminis. Please.
I think the most important thing to remember, besides Aries being the best, is that astrology is complex.
Yes.
And Sally said, you just kind of dig, you just keep going deeper and deeper. So keep watching and learning more to learn all about those complexities.
Yes. So, bye guys. I'll see you next video.
Yeah, thanks everyone.
Bye.